I got a pair of silver boots.
From Gopinath Bazaar.
I'll show them. They were
Right.
red and they were all kinds of.
The cantonment.
And they were all like 700 baht. And yeah, the other things didn't come in my size, sadly. The only one that came in my size was silver.
I have to talk a little louder because
Can the camera hear me?
we would not know at the moment. But you have to be a little louder. Huh?
That I can
Just
be.
in case.
So should I start shouting at you then? No?
We need to be audible because we are living in a city environment. So,
Yeah, that's true.
so you went from here to Gopinath? Or like
I
from...
can't remember. No, I think I went from when I was in Sarvapriya Bihar. From there to Gopinath. That's not too far.
No, but it's like an old story you're saying. I thought you're recent.
Actually, recent, about 2 years ago. So I can't remember.
That's not recent. That's like quite old.
Well, I mean, considering I'm 47, that's recent. If you're 22, then 2 years ago is not recent. But if you're 47, then 2 years ago is recent.
Do you think this any logical thing?
Yes,
you're saying?
it's logical. See, everything in life is relative, right? So, I know you don't like talking about work.
I like talking about work, but I look at it in a very like you look at work as like a very important thing in your life.
It is very important in my life.
I'm the pole opposite.
And I'll tell you why it's important in my life. Because it teaches me about life. So, okay, for instance, okay, when journalists send me stories, okay,
You are a journalist basically.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And other things also, but also
Work-wise, you're a journalist.
work-wise I'm a journalist.
Yeah.
Okay? So they'll say things like big house or small house. Okay, so one of the things I tell them is what is big and what is small. I mean, Ambani may come to my house and find it small, right?
Shanty. Not even shanty.
Correct. Huh? But for me, my house is very big.
Correct.
So everything is relative.
Yeah, but what was from where we began? Like I forgot the context. The context of why did you say? I was
Because I was saying 2 years in a life of 47 years is not much.
yeah.
So I can say it happened to me recently. But if I'm 22 and I say 2 years ago, that's a lot because that's a large part of my life, right? 22.
Okay, I'm not getting convinced, but okay. So you bought silver shoes from
I bought silver shoes from
Gopinath
Gopinath
Bazaar.
Bazaar.
Okay, so
Silver boots.
silver boots, basically made of leather.
That I don't know. I think so.
But 2 years is not a long time to like remember, right? Whether it was boots.
No, I can't figure out now whether it's leather or not. But I suspect it is because it takes polish well.
Okay, so it shines. Your silver boot shines.
No, it isn't. I don't look like. What is that? What is that song? Shiny disco balls. I don't look like that. Shiny disco ball. Was that a song?
I don't know. Could be. Anything you say is a song. Somewhere. Somebody must have done it already. Something is gonna come in section. Okay, so
Yes, of course.
So
Yes.
where do we begin? Yeah, so talk about your work. Like you're a journalist, so is it like a field work? Or I know this much that you're like an editor. So when people get you the script, you actually edit it and then you carry it forward, right?
Correct.
But do you go out to like report?
No,
Or
I don't. I sit in the office.
you don't like it?
So I started, when I started in life, when I finished journalism from, I was in Madras then, and I wanted to join Cosmo.
Cosmopolitan. That's like a phase 3 type, you saying?
No,
Cosmopolitan.
magazine.
Acha, okay, yeah. Yeah.
But no one knew how to go about it. I didn't know how to go about it. My professors didn't know how to help me. So I ended up. Oh, that's when I met you. I ended up in India Times. Do you remember?
Yeah.
Huh?
But I really don't know how we met.
We met? Oh, yeah, like the first time we met kind of thing.
Yeah.
You
Nobody
used to
knows.
sit in that pokey little room inside, remember?
Planet M?
Yeah.
Yeah. But
I have no clue what
So-
you guys were doing. What were you doing?
I was working.
What were you doing?
They were actually building a new website as like an online cassette selling and CD selling website. So they needed cheap labor. Huh? So basically, they needed all these young people who are like basically graduates or non-graduates, whatever. But they work long hours, but they will be, money will be less. So yeah, so I mean, the guy who called me for the vacancy, he said like this job is about music. You'll get to hear a lot of music. So I was like a music buff. Still I am, but that time I was crazy about it. So I said, yeah. So if people are like giving me money to like listen to music or whatever, something to do with music, then I really don't mind it. So I went there. Then yeah, so Pankaj.
Yeah, the
Pankaj
fat
C.
guy. No,
Yeah.
he wasn't fat. He had the. I always got the feeling that he was going to become fat in the future.
He was healthy, if you say healthy. We are like supposed to say it on camera, like I don't know. Like too much like correctness is needed in this time. People get offended very
No, I
quickly.
just said fat.
Yeah, so people get offended with that word because
I mean, why? It's like saying I'm dark. That's not a bad thing, right?
exactly it's not a bad thing if you are that. Then if you are
are
that,
that.
but then we have become too sensitive and irritable.
It's like both of us are supposed to be Madrasis, right?
I'm an Indian.
Oh, pinna.
I'm from Chennai city. I'm an Indian, but I'm from Chennai city. I'm not. I wouldn't call myself Madrasi because I've never lived there. I mean, I used to go for vacations, right? But all my life I have lived in Ganga. I'm a छोटा गंगा किनारे वाला.
वो क्या होता है?
जो गंगा किनारे जो लड़के घूमते रहते हैं. I'm from Kashi, Banaras.
What bullshit.
Yeah, I've the beginning 10 years of my life I was in Kashi.
Are you serious?
Yeah, I was born in Mumbai.
And you'll go back and die in Kashi? Because
I-
only
but-
from there you'll go to heaven.
but no, I don't have such aspirations.
You're like Kabir.
No, I'm not like a V at all. But I don't have such aspirations because I don't apply the concept of heaven and hell doesn't apply to me.
Only to you.
No, it doesn't apply at all. So I can at the moment I can only say to me because if I say generally, then 2023 people are very sensitive. They'll say, how can you say that? There's no heaven, there's no hell. How can you say there's no God?
Didn't John Lennon say just that?
I don't know. I'm not heard John Lennon properly. So. Did he?
Did he say that in Imagine?
Every human being with like 2 cents of brains will say this only. You know what I mean? It's like nothing to like what do you say? Nothing too difficult to understand this this concept like when I was coming from the metro. There's a forest area all along Meroli and then blah 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 blah. There was a thick blanket of smoke. I'm talking about 10:30, right? So it felt like the city is on fire, right? So now the hell and heaven also means that the city is on fire. Basically, it's hell. You know what I mean? So when like we are having good times and we are like jovial and we are like enjoying life, those moments become heaven. है ना बाकी टाइम तो हम हेल में रह रहे हैं
But there are bubbles in hell.
like what sort like literally bubbles
No, conceptual bubbles, no? It's like a bubble of happiness in the city. Which will burst, of course, but
yeah but that also depends upon you. If you feel like that then only it's like the happiness is there, otherwise most people are cringy and like sulking and I also do that and I feel sometimes I'm kind of angry. Are you angry generally compared to 20 years back? I am.
little bit.
I am.
A little bit. I think more than angry, and I don't like this about myself. I think I've become a little bit resentful, and I really don't like that.
Yeah, so what does resentful mean? Like, if you can make me understand. Well, I really don't know the meaning. Like, resentful means like something doing with vengeance, something like that?
No. I don't want to take vengeance on it.
Oh.
Resentful that certain things have not gone the way I would have liked them to have gone in life.
Yeah, but that doesn't happen usually.
What does that?
Like, whatever you feel like, what expecting, it usually doesn't work like that.
Yeah, of course.
Yeah, so for everybody and in every era, it doesn't work, right? Because we have grand plans, like whatever, all small plans also, but 8 times out of 10, something happens, something comes in between.
I think the problem is I didn't have a plan. I just had expectations.
So why do you think it's a problem not having a plan?
No. And not having plan is okay. But having expectations is problematic.
Yeah, but we are built like that, no?
Yeah, of course.
In the sense because yeah, but I think if you say since the birth of humanity, like Homo sapiens, right? I mean, expecting is like a way of life. Kabhi khana, we want food. So, what do you think was the difference then, expecting then and expecting now? Because I feel in those times expectations had a kind of a meaning and a purpose.
Okay, tell me what you mean.
Like food. There has to be only one or two expectations, like we need food
Right.
because we need to survive.
Right.
And that's built in very, it's natural. It's natural. But in today's time, the expectations are not about survival. It has gone, it has like spread into many branches.
That's that whole thing of Maslow's theory of needs, right? Where at the bottom, I think there are 4 rungs. I'm forgetting now.
I say Maslow's theory of
Needs.
needs.
I think that's what it is
Okay.
called. So the bottom rung is your basic things, right?
Surviving.
Yeah. Then as you go up, your
Go up like,
as you go up the ladder, in the sense that so most people now their basic needs are taken care of, right? Of security,
not most people,
a lot of people.
some people. If
Some
you consider the population of India,
Yeah, some
and if you
people.
consider our grand Sevak saying that we are going to give 80% ration to the population, that's a lot of people who can't even afford
That's true.
two meals, right? So,
That's true.
so basically, if you say 100 crores, let's say hypothetically 100 crores is the population, so 80 crores are like living, can't even afford 2 meals a day. So let's talk about the 20%. उसमें लोगों को चाहिए कि like basic needs are covered. In those 20% also there are people who are like marginally surviving. They have like petty jobs here and there, like someone is a laborer or someone has opened a small shop by the road,
Right.
and they are like living day to day. They buy stuff and they go home and they buy the groceries or whatever and they eat. But there's no future, like there's no tomorrow for them. So if you say let's say hypothetically, if you say 10% more of it,
No, we can't say that there's no tomorrow for them. First of all, this thing of them and us is problematic.
because no, I'll tell you why. Because the guy who picks up garbage
Right.
from our neighborhood, so I mean he's kind of a friend to me, right? Because he says things because nobody even says hi, hello, how are you? How have you been today? Did you eat? Those little empathetic things people don't ask. They are just he's just a guy who comes and he and if he doesn't do his job or if he's like not comes for like 2 days, people get angry on him because he's supposed to pick their dirt and like clean their muck basically. So the other day I was asking him how much does he get. You wouldn't believe the answer he gave me. He said he gets 2K per month. Okay, so he comes up, let's say at 10 o'clock in the morning. And then most people, they don't separate their garbage, so all kinds of things are there. So he has bare hands, there's no mask, or there's no even clothing. It's hazardous in a way, okay? Obviously smelling foul.
And also there could be needles, glass, pieces.
Anything, because people are not doing that, sanitary napkins, anything would be there, right? So he has to separate everything. So he has to go from one house has got seven buildings. My apartment has got seven houses in one building, right? So he'll pick up everything and he'll separate. You know the drill. He'll pick up everything. It takes around 4 hours for him to like take a chakkar of it, one circle, and then so 4 or 5 hours he spends on that, and he gets like 2K per month. Then he said, okay, fine, you have done now. Then what's your next plan? He said, I'm going to go to some other place and do the same thing again. So basically, he's like working like all of us for like 8 to 10 hours. His job is pretty filthy, but he's only going to earn 4,000 rupees a month. Okay, so now even if we like loosely, if I say he's immune to all this, then also he doesn't have a backup. He's working, he's picking up all the garbage, no? So even
his immunity, his body's built up some level of immunity.
If I say it loosely, if let's say something drastic happens to him, or let's even say like if his thela gari, the cart that he gets, it breaks down, right? He can't change a wheel. He can't buy a new cart. Those things are a problem for him, right? He can't afford to have a leave day and go out. I don't know what he does. Maybe his surviving skills are like much better than all of us, right? He must be having some kind of thing. But I'm just saying the death of humanity over here. So he's like a non-existent person for all of us. He doesn't exist. He doesn't even exist for the person who has got him on contract. No, the person who's the contractor, I think he makes around 10 to 12,000 rupees per month. So out of that, he gives 2,000 to him. So that guy is smart. Somehow he has broken into the system and figured out a way to earn money without doing too much work. Obviously, getting a contract is also some kind of a brainy work, but it's not a manual labor.
Right.
So, so the thing is the concept of humanity, and let's go back to the needs of life, from where this conversation began, right? So, so do you even remember the context?
No, I remember it, but I can't remember the pyramid, because as you go up,
you said the guy
Maslow.
Maslow's, yeah.
If you want, I can Google it for you. But
now you can explain. Yeah.
No, I don't remember it.
But you remember the...
So the concept is that as you go up the pyramid, it finally transcends to, it goes to emotional needs. And then, so at the basic, it's physical needs, right? You need to be secure, etc. Right? Yeah. Then you have your emotional needs and so on. And at the top of the pyramid is your spiritual needs. Right?
Yeah, that happens when you're
So but I can't remember in what context we were talking about.
No, but earlier the Homo sapiens, when they're hunting, the only expectations were hunger and a little bit of shelter, some cave, and they're done with the thing.
We don't know that.
But we know the needs were basic. It's only survival.
Yeah, it was survival. Yeah. That's true. But I'm sure they had relationships with each other.
Of course.
Yeah?
Of course.
So emotional and... Yeah? And they lived together and all that must have been there.
Even monkeys do that.
Yeah.
Because we garner power in community. Yeah. We are the same, right?
Yeah.
So, but even if our expectations are become multifaceted, do you think it is still very animalistic? Anything we do is animalistic only, because we are not grown from the animal way of life. Anything we do in life is pretty animalistic. Nothing about it is human. Do you agree or do you disagree? And if you agree, why? If you disagree, why?
I don't know about that. I don't know about this animalistic thing because I haven't thought about it. But I have thought
but you understand what I'm trying to tell you.
Yeah, but listen to me now. Of late, I've realized that as we age also, it's almost like at certain points, you lapse back into almost childhood. I don't know how to explain it to you. At the core of our being, we are all children. That's what I'm trying to say.
So you're saying this because of the stagnation of freedom that
No, please, no.
it comes when you're like growing up, more and more
No, I'm not
things are
thinking.
cluttering your head, and then
No, I'm not thinking about it
freedom.
in such a, I don't know, philosophical way or something.
No, it is like
Yeah, I'm just saying that.
childlike means freedom only,
I suppose.
because there's no concept of anything.
Yeah.
You're blank.
Yeah, maybe. Actually, more than freedom, it is going back to your natural self. Because as we age, as we grow up, as we age, we keep wearing mask upon
Exactly.
mask
Yeah.
upon mask.
Yeah.
Till finally, sometimes you don't know who you are, right? Or at least people sitting in front of you may not know who you are, right? And maybe you lose touch with yourself,
That's philosophy.
right?
Yeah. No, what you're talking is actually because the whole fight of this culture is about like knowing your own true self.
Right.
Always been like that, right?
Huh. And so, at certain points in time, or with certain people perhaps, in little episodes, you lapse back into what you were as a child.
Yeah, basically, what you're trying to say is you just you again all your memories are like they diminish, and it means that only.
Memories.
You understand what I'm trying to tell you? I mean, like,
Your
no,
memories don't diminish.
Yes.
Your memory is still there, but you are. You are enough at ease with the person to, where perhaps I can see glimpses of you from of how you would have been as a child. Do you know what I mean?
I understand. You're saying
No, I think you are still like that only.
like a child.
Huh?
Absolutely. That's why it becomes very difficult to make people like understand what am I up to.
Children are usually up to no good.
Yeah, because they don't have any concept of anything. It's basically a purposeless life. They're just doing it because it's coming naturally.
Huh.
There's no meaning behind it.
So when I see you, Shalan, I don't think you're wearing any masks and all. Maybe you are wearing a few, but mostly you're not, right? But I have a question. What do you think of yourself? Do you think you're wearing masks?
Everybody does.
Of
Because of the way this whole society has now turned into, right? Because it's like you're supposed to behave in a certain way in a certain place.
Of course.
I can't wear this attire and go to a temple,
Right,
right?
right.
It's not like it disturbs me. I am as usual. I'm like as normal as anything else because I'm going there to do a certain kriya.
But maybe somebody will look at your legs and be distracted.
I mean, the problem lies in them.
kidding.
You know what I mean? No, it's not. They don't have a problem with me wearing a short. I mean, they think, they have this skewed concept. God doesn't mind. If there is a God, he or she doesn't mind. Okay? Because if he or she was minding my, if they thought that I'm stupid enough, they'll before like entering the temple or a church or whatever, they'll kind of slice my legs. I'm speaking, na? But people.
God may not be living in these temples and churches. If there is a God.
Yeah, because absolutely. Yeah. You want to touch on this topic? Basically,
Yeah.
Because see, we really don't, as a community, we belong to a certain nationality. We really don't cherish or respect the natural environment that we have. Like especially because we have our rivers have a very religious connotations to it. It's not like some river in England. It's just a river. It's got nothing to do with any god. But for us, river has come from the gods. Any river you take in this world, in India, it comes from the gods. And
Really? All rivers?
all rivers,
Including, like, I don't know.
they are coming from Himalayas.
No, yeah, the South Indian, southern.
Okay, they are coming from the rain, and rain is connected to a god. Air, wind is connected to a god. And anything we touch is connected to a god. Living, non-living. Okay, in that old the Prahlad and Hiranyakashipu story, and the
I don't know the story.
I'll tell you the story. So, Hiranyakashipu was a Asura king. But he had a little son. He was a Narayan Bhakt. And Narayan is like Vishnu Bhakt. Obviously, that there's going to be as it is, the father-son has a clash going on. Now this guy is like a Vishnu Bhakt, and his father hates it. He's an Asur. He's not into devs. He's got a separate community, which he's like, proud of. And he's the king of 3 worlds. He's got no respect for anybody, basically. And this guy keeps on like, Vishnu. He's doing that, okay. And over a period of time, the anger is building. He's not like human like us. He's got anger of some other level also. He doesn't care about emotions much when nobody's listening to him, right? So his son is like, so he does many things to kill his son. But something happens and the god intervenes, and he's saved.
Vishnu intervenes.
Yeah, in some form or the other, right? So he dodges fire, he dodges poison, he dodges barbed wire and this and that, all kinds of atrocities he just dodges. So finally, Hiranyakashipu loses his head totally, and he says, "Okay, if you are so into like Vishnu, do you think even Vishnu is like in this iron pillar?" So yeah, he's in this iron pillar also. So then he kicks the iron pillar. Supposedly something happens. So the pillar breaks open, and then there's this half lion and half human just comes from the pillar. So Hiranyakashipu had a very thought of boon, that he can't die in the morning, he can't die in the evening, in the night. He cannot die by a human being, he cannot die by an animal. And he had like such things. So Vishnu had like made this concept, and he came in the twilight zone in the evening, and he cannot die on the floor, and he cannot die on the air. So he had like these combinations. So basically he became like invincible, and he would never die, Amar. So Vishnu, that guy came, Vishnu took avatar of Narsimha. You know Narsimha? Half lion and half this. And then he took him on his lap, because the lap is like neither the ground nor the air, and he's neither animal nor human. And I cannot die with any weapon. So he had these long nails.
Cute.
So nail is not like
a weapon.
It's not like like a weapon. And then so he just follows his tummy, and then he drinks his blood or something like that happens. So that's the concept of Prahlada. So basically, we talk so much that we again then we forget the context. How it began. So forget about that then.
Yeah.
When
couldn't have been that important then.
Yeah, nothing is actually important. Yeah, so basically you said people think of me as like childlike or something.
No, I don't know about people. I don't know anyone who knows you anymore. But I mean, I think of you like that.
Yeah, I mean, I feel sometimes very misplaced, because I don't have this. I just don't have any concept of how this society works. Like I don't like anything. Like I don't want to do things every day.
What do you mean?
In the sense, it's like a very sensitive topic for you. In the sense, I have to
it's not sensitive
I have to
to
put
me.
it in a different way. In the sense,
No, I'm not sensitive.
in the sense, society over a period of time works in a way.
Yeah.
It works in a way.
Yeah.
Like I'm like a Edir Nichal. You know Edir Nichal? Edir Nichal is you're like swimming against the tide.